So it's in the news that Star Wars has been ruined. It's been destroyed. It's all wokeism, no substance. And I really don't know. It doesn't look good, but I haven't seen a Star Wars movie in 20 years. They just don't look entertaining anymore. Though there would be times when people would play these movies and I'd walk into the room, or maybe I was doing something on my computer and then a nearby television had a movie like this playing, and it just had nothing entertaining or intriguing about it, so I didn't really watch these movies. And the reason I'm making this video, because I focus on spirituality, narcissism, religion, God, and I just see the correlations between the demonic and modern movies made in the 2020s and before, where you can tell that they're demonic and they are like a narcissist because they look beautiful, they look great on the outside. So if you have like a screen capture of these movies,
Genius.
if you have a screen capture of these movies, they will look a lot better than when they first came out. And the imagery, the visuals are very nice. They have characters that visually people want, visually that looks good. But what is lacking is soul, just like the narcissist. There is nobody home, there is nothing there. There is no substance or depth. And yes, we would like to see all different types of ages, genders, ethnicities. We would like to see these in movies and films and TV shows, but we want to see it naturally. We don't want to see it force injected while we're being told that we're bad. It's not what we want. And really, the way to solve this is by getting rid of the financial barriers to film production so that people that are not extremely wealthy can afford to make these things on their own. And actually, it looks like that's what we're doing right now with platforms like Rumble and YouTube. Now everyone is able to make their own channel and get their videos out there. And perhaps it doesn't look as good. But now with the AI that's coming out, which I foresee to be used for a lot of evil, it can also be used for good and help people without resources and without money make their own films. I definitely see like video AI, to where yes, you could tell AI remake the next Star Wars film in a way that people like, and then see what they come up with. And I don't think it'll be woke unless it's like Google woke AI. Anyways, this, like most other modern movies, they look better, they look good compared to the original, but the story itself, it's not captivating. It's flat. It's like empty and soulless, like the narcissist, where it looks good, it's flashy, it maybe buys you some expensive gifts, but there's no in-depth personality or love there. This is how you can tell these films are created by wicked, evil people, and they're inspired by demonic entities. Another way you can tell this is because they do not have the creativity that humans have. So they will not be making a brand new storyline. They will have to copy stories that have already been written, videos that have already been made, and they just have to race or gender swap. They have to do this, and they tell us that it's a virtue. They have to do this because they do not have creativity. Demons and the devil, they do not have creativity. They can only copy, like Lucifer wanted to copy God. He could not think of his own path. He was not able creatively to imagine his own being, his own separate life. He just wanted to copy something that already existed. And that's another reason why wokeism is a tool. It's a weapon of the enemy, but it has to be, because they are unable to think of their own storylines. They can only copy what is already created. and they make it look better, but it has no soul because it is evil. The kingdom of darkness has no substance, has no soul. So their films and their TV shows, their entertainment will not be something that is passed down and talked about over the generations. It will not be a classic. That's how they destroy this. It's not even destroyed because it's woke. It's destroyed because there's no soul. And because there's no soul, it has to be woke, because that's the only way that they can remake these films. So I agree with just seeing a few seconds of these movies playing in the background. They looked very boring. It also reminds me of the new video games. I remember back in 1990s, there was a lot of fun games, and there were 2D pixel games, side scrollers, and these were fun to play, and we would play them for hours, days, and weeks. And the new games, they look beautiful, they look amazing, but they also lack a soul, and to me, I have no interest in them anymore. So I'm not bashing anyone. I did have an issue with not seeing enough groups represented in films as I was growing up. As a female, as a girl, I did want to see more movies with female characters. But I didn't want to see movies that were already made, where they just swap the main character out. That is not what we want. And I think that this would have happened if there weren't the barriers to making films, so that more women in more different groups could make their own movies on a shoestring budget. And it really is the case in many instances, especially for women, where we did feel responsible for resources, and if your husband was making the money, you wouldn't want to waste his money on frivolities. You wouldn't want to take the family resources and spend thousands on making your own film. So that self-sacrificing nature is one of the reasons why we didn't see very many movies. And by getting rid of the financial barriers, that could solve all of our problems. People in low-income neighborhoods with high crime rates, they should have the same ability to make films as a wealthy Jewish person. And I am not race baiting or anything here, but I'm going to call the truth for what it is. There are barriers, there are gateways to entry in being able to make films. And this usually involves selling out to the devil. And when you sell out to the devil, they control, the demons and the devil controls what kind of film you produce, what types of messages are portrayed, how the characters talk, how the characters dress, what ethnicity or race people are, is controlled. And it's never going to be good because it is soulless. So if any poor person had the ability to make a film and put it out there, then it would be better than the trash that Disney is making. And this is really the truth. I would love to see movies made by people in the ghetto. They can probably make a very emotional, captivating tale based on life experiences and things that are wonderful. And these movies being made by elites and basically zombies and demons, they have no soul. They can't relate to regular people. They have no idea what it's like to be an impoverished person living in a slum. They have no idea what it's like to be middle class. So all they can do is observe us and then try to create something that's separated by many levels. So modern movies, modern entertainment is demonic. There are some religious channels and things like that are coming into existence. I do see in the future that this will be resolved, where anyone has the ability to make a film, and they're not going to be controlled. They won't have to sell out. They won't have to compromise their morals or their vision. And I actually think Disney is doing a lot of good, because this has been going on subtly in the background for decades. And because the Overton window moved very slowly, it wasn't necessarily recognizable. Now what Disney is doing is they're changing things so drastically, so ridiculously in this clown show, where everyone can see that there's a huge backlash and it's going to force change. And yes, I would like to see more female characters, more black characters, more Asian characters, and all of this naturally. And it makes sense too. If a white man is making a movie, he is more familiar as a white man, and might even feel like it's wrong of him to put someone of a different race in and try to pretend that he understands their aspirations, dreams, and goals. Which, I'm not trying to be racist here. I'm just saying honestly, like, you might feel that you're misrepresenting somebody, and you don't want to do that. And we just all have to value and respect each other and treat each other based on our morals. Treat each other on how, it needs to be reciprocal. We treat each. I'm gonna get off here. My